Nice to see you again. Thank you very much for coming for another interesting latest article from Clive. God inspires, I carefully write them down, and now we share them to encourage you and to help you in your Christian walk. If you're busy, just remember to leave me in your digital device, and with your headphones, iPhones, iPods, earpods, let me just read you the story while you're on a train, a bus, going to work, on a plane, wherever you are. Let us go to this latest article, and it's called Bury the Hatchet. This is a term often used when troubles and trials afflict, and someone has hurt you oh so very deeply. We are encouraged to bury the hatchet, to let bygones become bygones, to leave the past dead and buried in the past, to bury the hatchet. But pride and vengeance often try to make us to aggressively rise up, to press us to bury the hatchet, and that is deep into the skull and right between his eyes. Wrath and anger, that wanting to avenge, to get even, to punish them, to put them down, to remove them out of our lives once and for all. But this type of thinking and action lands us up in a criminal court and a very long sentence in a maximum security prison with cellmates who have all tried and failed to get even. God is love. That experience of being forgiven and restored, God has handled the past and the oppressors. God will balance the books. Let Him attend to things for us to live as really forgiven, and to forgive quickly all those who seek to or have actually harmed and oppressed you. Remember, God never seeks to control you. Love is His reaching out to us and our passionate desire to be affirmatively responding to be with Him. Forgive, forgiveness, forgiven, forgotten. We should always bury the hatchet deep in the ground, and not to ever leave the handle sticking up so that it can be quickly grasped and used again in anger and vengeance once more. Love is what you do and not what you say. Matthew 5:39, But I say unto you that you resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on the right cheek, turn to him also the other. Proverbs 25:21-22, If thine enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat. If he be thirsty, give him water to drink. For thou shalt heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Lord shall reward thee. 1 Peter 2:20-25, For what glory is it, if when ye are buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently? But if, when you do well and suffer for it, you take it patiently, this is acceptable with God. For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example, that ye should follow his steps, who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth, who, when he was reviled, reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judgeth righteously, who his own self bare our sins in his body on the tree, that we, being dead to sin, should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes ye are healed. For ye are sheep going astray, but ye are now returned unto the shepherd and the bishop of your souls. Isaiah 53:1-12, Who hath believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, as a root out of a dry ground. He hath no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there shall be no beauty that we should desire him. He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrow and acquainted with grief, and we hid as it were our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he hath borne our griefs, and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgression. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are all healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way, and the Lord hath laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed, and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He was brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before his shearers is dumb. So he opened not his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment, and who shall declare this generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living, for the transgression of my people was he stricken. And he made his grave with the wicked, and with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. He hath put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed, he shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. He shall see of the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquity. Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he hath poured out his soul unto death, and he was numbered with the transgressors. He bare the sins of many, and made the intercession for the transgressors. From Luke 23:33-34, we get, when they had come to the place which is called Calvary, there they crucified him, and the malefactors, one on the right hand, and the other on the left. Then said Jesus, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. And they parted his raiment, cast lots. If Jesus can bury the hatchet to actively forgive those who are actively attacking and doing him harm, why then do we find it so hard to do the same thing? Do we not claim to be followers of Jesus? We are totally undeserving of God's forgiveness, so let us spread grace and mercy to all those who inadvisably afflict us. Luke 11:3-4. Give us day by day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, for we forgive everyone who is indebted to us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. If we actively invoke the Lord's Prayer on this point, God, please treat me and forgive me just as I forgive others, then how quickly would we forgive and bury the hatchet far from sight, forever forgotten. Thank you very much for being here with us, and remember to walk softly, to deal kindly, and to trust God. Please could you help me by pressing the like and the subscribe button? The bell icon will give you a notification of the next article. And thank you very much for sharing me with those you love and care about. And please stay safe. And until next time, look after yourselves.